All right, this is some brutal stuff. Republican Representative Nancy Mace out of South Carolina tried to follow in Marjorie Taylor Greene's footsteps and go onto CNN into, I guess, the lion's den for a Republican and throw Donald Trump under the bus, therefore separating herself from the current administration. There is a moment in this interview where she just admits that neither Speaker of the House Mike Johnson nor Donald Trump have any health care plan, which blows up their entire argument in 2026 for the midterms that they're working on some sort of healthcare plan, and they have been for the past decade. Spoiler alert, they haven't been. But before that even happened, before she even threw Donald Trump under the bus, we'll get there in just 1 second, she's asked about her recent airport tantrum, where, just to run you through the story, there was a miscommunication between the airport security guards, the police envoy, actually, that was supposed to follow her around the airport. So when she arrived and when she pulled her bags out of the car, she didn't have anyone there waiting for her to escort her in. So she walks in with no escort, and she's very, very angry. And then when the two security guards, when the two police envoy officers do see her, they start to walk over and say, "Sorry, ma'am, we were at the wrong entrance. We're now with you." And she starts to freak the F out on them. She starts to curse at them, yell at them. This says, airport security footage shows Nancy Mace making a spectacle due to minor miscommunication. And immediately the police officers filed a report with their superior, as they should, and said, "Listen, we're really confused why she was so mad. We were legitimately like 100 feet away, just at the wrong door." But you see Nancy Mace screaming, yelling, really pissed off, incredibly angry. And apparently she called them some really, really mean names, which we'll get to in just one moment. Just not behavior that's good for any sort of representative. Now, I have a lot of travel that I do every week. I got off a flight 2 days ago back from CNN in New York, and literally later today, I'm flying out to LA. So travel never stops, but I never ever mistreat people in the airport. Especially as a representative in a position of power, mistreating people in an airport is just so disgusting. But she then goes on to CNN. And what I'm assuming is she's trying to follow in the Marjorie Taylor Greene footsteps. She even had a private meeting with Marjorie Taylor Greene, according to reports, where Nancy Mace floated the idea of stepping down, hurting the Republican majority in Congress, the very slim majority, and sticking it to Donald Trump and Speaker of the House Mike Johnson for their treatment of women. But before she even got to her political strategy part, Caitlin Collins from CNN kind of nukes the entire interview by pinning Nancy Mace down in the best way possible. Make sure you drop a like, make sure you subscribe, and let's check this out.
And you know, that to me is very, very important. And I back the blue, I back our police, I back our security. You know, in my district in South Carolina, I've gotten millions of dollars for local law enforcement to support them in their efforts to keep our communities safe. But what's not okay is falsifying reports, falsifying incident reports. I've taken on top cops like Kim Cheadle after Donald Trump was shot. I helped get her, force her resignation when she came through with the oversight.
You just said you backed the blue. The police quote you in this report as you calling them effing idiots and effing incompetent, while stating that you're an effing representative, and telling a TSA supervisor, "I'm sick of your shit. I'm tired of having to wait. I should not have to wait. You guys are always effing late, and this is effing ridiculous." Are you saying you didn't say those things?
Well, you're quoting a document that was in part falsified. They say a lot of things, and the video doesn't show that. There's no audio. I asked for all the body cam footage and the audio. They also state in the report that there was an incident at the gate. The video shows nothing that didn't happen. And so for me, it's important that we tell the truth. And I've taken responsibility. Yes, I was absolutely 100%
But
frustrated.
did you say those things that your quote that I just read?
No, I did not. I mean, I definitely...
So you're saying the police officers are lying?
No, I'm saying that is...
No, she is. She said back the blue in 1 minute. And then the next sentence, she says the police officers are actually lying. So she doesn't fully believe all people in blue.
In part false. And that is a falsified document. There are things in there, most of what's in there that's quoted is not true. So that to me is important that we tell the truth. I asked for audio and I asked for body cam footage and they didn't release it. They say it doesn't exist. I asked for that because I think it's important that we tell the truth and show. I don't even remember that morning, but what I do remember is being at the gate and being on a conference call. And like last time I checked,
You don't remember having this tense interaction?
oh, I
with the
definitely was
officers?
frustrated, 100% frustrated.
Multiple people in the airport, like workers and even spectators, corroborated the story. They said Nancy Mace was freaking the hell out and they were pretty disturbed. Even Byron Donalds released a pretty scathing statement against Nancy Mace, and he's not doing that with little to no evidence. I'm assuming Byron Donalds actually believes the police report because he's probably dealt with Nancy Mace in other scenarios. This kind of shows you I don't ever praise Marjorie Taylor Greene, and this isn't meant to praise Marjorie Taylor Greene, but it kind of shows you how smooth she was. She was able to put all of her controversies aside and wiggle her way into CNN and have multiple good appearances. Nancy Mace is like a train wreck 5 minutes into the first appearance.
Frustrated. I definitely, when the law enforcement finally showed up for the security detail, I absolutely was frustrated. But the video that they released are showing me asking for help. Like I asked TSA agents for help when I was.
Well, there's
looking for
also part of the
security.
video. There's where you speaking to a TSA agent. There's also
Yes.
part of the video where you're walking down the hallway and there are two officers behind you. I
Yes.
assume they're the ones who spoke
Yes.
to the
and
to
where
the
I'm
investigators here.
pointing, I was pointing to a security desk where the airport security usually sit and wait. And I was asking the TSA agent if she could call down to the security desk and get assistance for me. So like that's not asking TSA for help isn't against the law.
But are you saying that you never said any of these quotes? That every single one is a lie?
You have to read it to me again. I did
Effing
not say
idiots,
that. I did
effing
not call
incompetent,
them
and that
idiots.
you're an effing representative.
I did not say that. I did
And
not.
you didn't
call,
say, I'm sick of your shit,
I
I'm
have-
tired of having to wait, I should not have to wait, you guys are always effing late, this is effing ridiculous.
No.
I believe the two officers who are basically painting a pattern of Nancy Mace's behavior. I mean, look, you can see her yelling in
Help
this clip right here.
isn't
But do you-
against the law.
But are you saying that you never
She's literally yelling. She's turning around and yelling at them. We don't have that much footage of the entire incident, but I'm assuming it went on for multiple minutes. To continue here.
Okay,
So,
but
like-
you don't. I just want to be clear though, because
Yeah.
I think everyone's reading this report. We saw what
It's
Senator Tim Scott had to
wild.
say from your home state about this, saying,
Yeah.
you know, it's not okay to berate police officers and airport staff who are just doing their jobs, and that it's not becoming to use vulgar language as a member of Congress. But you don't express regret about that day.
I use vulgar language frequently. I mean, that the president does. I do, I guess, because I'm a House member, just a lowly House member. I'm not allowed to do that. I don't know. But I do express my frustration. I do take responsibility for my words. I always have. But the idea that I would call somebody an idiot, I have never done that in my life. And to me, it was an incredible hit job. It was effective. It was a very effective political hit job, but that's all that it was. And
Who do you think was doing the hit job?
it was the Attorney General Alan Wilson. I mean, literally.
You think he conspired like with the
Oh,
police and TSA
100%.
at the airport?
6 minutes after they released the falsified reports, he had a news release and a press thing on social media. Like it was all boom, boom, boom. And so that to me, it was a very effective political hit job. But I'm not going to sit here and allow the mainstream media to allow the press to concoct a story that didn't.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're just reading the report.
I know it's crazy to me that the media would believe a falsified report when I show you, here's the video.
It's crazy that the media would back the blue or believe the blue after you just repeatedly said back the blue. Okay, so now Nancy Mace gets her Marjorie Taylor Greene moment eventually. Her Marjorie Taylor Greene moment being a moment where she gets to split with the Trump admin in an intentionally performative way in order to not be tied to a sinking ship, jump off of the sinking ship, and maybe get a viral moment. It didn't go too well.
Within a certain mileage. I mean, it's just crazy what we're doing to the healthcare market.
So you're a Republican, and you're saying you have not seen a Republican plan.
I've
to
not
address
seen any
healthcare.
language, no language. There's no language that's been out. If we're going to vote on healthcare next week, which is a rumor, no one has seen the plan. We haven't read it. I would like to see it. I would like to put my teeth into it because I look at a state like South Carolina where overregulation has hurt the market, and I want to make sure that whether we're talking about PBMs, whether we're talking about pharmaceuticals, whether we're talking about a nurse practitioner, just basically being able to execute what she's certified and qualified to do. These small changes can make a huge, huge difference.
Okay, so we have multiple Republicans who have come out and said that there's no actual text to these healthcare plans. We also have 20 plus Republicans who are going to be resigning from the House in the coming weeks because they're either a little bit older or they're just disillusioned. They're feeling tired. They feel like they're at a gridlock. Mike Johnson isn't treating them well. The Republican caucus is rapidly collapsing, and their time as the majority is coming to an end. They have less than a year left to make their mark, to have some sort of landmark legislation beyond the BBB, which honestly is just going to hurt people long term. I just want to end this off by saying Representative Nancy Mace is no Marjorie Taylor Greene. I never thought I'd say that about anyone, but Nancy Mace is pretty nasty. I mean, the report said, quote, "She repeatedly stated that we were effing incompetent, and this is no way to treat an effing U.S. representative." Both of the officers corroborated this report and said that this happened. Both of them. So it's pretty despicable that a representative is treating people like this. She basically just crashed and burned live on CNN, and she may have no choice but to resign, retire soon. Who knows if she'll be a representative for much longer. I'll see you on the next video, and peace out.